Acoustic ASMR.
Hey there. Welcome to the base. Yeah, I'm Lieutenant Horn. It's nice to meet you. I've heard a lot about you. Captain Antilles let me know that you'd be arriving this morning. Seems you're here a little bit early. Just in time for it to warm up. No, I am being serious in a way. It gets frigid at night around here. We closed the blast doors well before 1900. So just remember that. You're going to want to invest in layers. Yeah, no, you'll definitely get one of these. Where are you coming from? Oh, okay, so a lot warmer there. Yeah, this might be a rough transition for you. Well, I've been with Rogue Squadron for about a year now. Well, a little bit about me. I come from Corellia. I was a member of Corsec. Well, maybe we can get into that stuff later. Suffice to say, I used to think I was a pretty crack pilot. And then when I got here, I was humbled. Yeah, I think most people come here into Rogue Squadron. If you make Rogue Squadron, like, the general expectation is going to be that you're a pretty good pilot. But I think when you start flying against people like Wedge and Tycho, and on the odd occasion we still get to fly a mission with Luke Skywalker, you figure out pretty quickly that these guys are on another level. Well, you do have that Imperial Academy training. Love to hear about that. Oh, you got to fly interceptors. Those are fast. Handling an X-Wing is a lot different. You have to worry about shielding. You have to worry about where your energy is going to go. Is it going to go to the weapons? Is it going to go to the engines? Obviously, they're a lot slower than TIE fighters, but our firepower is greater. Our hitbox is higher and or larger. And obviously having shielding does help. They handle a lot tighter than TIE fighters, and so I think you'll find those controls more agreeable, but there might be a bit of an adjustment period for you. Oh, okay, so yeah, the Z95, obviously a lot older, a bit of a precursor, but a helpful on-ramp, I guess, to the X-Wing. If you've flown one of those, then you should be pretty good. You know, I have kind of a sentimental love for the Z95. I think it gets a lot of unfair hate, or at least gets roasted when it shouldn't. I mean, there's a reason it's been around for a long time. Well, flying with Karrde, that means you're no slouch. Talon Karrde is infamously not an easy man to please, so I can appreciate that kind of experience. My girlfriend, let's just say that she has a father that is a little bit difficult to please himself. Yeah, not really a friend of mine. It's a bit complicated. Booster Tarek, ever heard of him? Yeah, then you know. What kind of facilities do they have on the wild card? Okay, well, we don't have that level here. Yeah, I would expect things to be a bit more rustic for you for a while. Okay, so that's what it was like when you started out there. I think the biggest thing here is the cold. Yeah, it's a good question. Why have an outpost all the way out here in the Outer Rim? But I think what it comes down to is that realistically, there are only so many places that we can run drills. without the Empire detecting us. They don't just run patrols, they have probe droids all across the galaxy looking for rebel bases. This outpost is small and remote enough and inhospitable enough to the kind of aircraft we fly. Even the speeders that are like designed to fly in this kind of sub-zero temperature, that the Empire probably isn't doing a lot of checking out here, so we can drill in relative peace. That being said, I wouldn't get too used to being here. We'll be here maximum 5-6 months before we move on. Yeah, we try not to link up with the larger fleet too often. Again, we just don't want to consolidate all of our forces. It's sort of a bad idea. The idea with rebel cells is to be as separate as possible and as flexible in the event that we need to make a quick getaway. There's lots of taking on your first day, huh? What do you make of your quarters so far? Yeah, so you got one of the newer units, and when I say newer, I mean newer. Those beds tend to be a little bit firmer, so give it a couple weeks. Yeah, it softens up under your body weight. Don't worry, we're going to be working pretty hard out here, so I don't think falling asleep is going to be an issue. I can understand that. Yeah, many have joined the Alliance for similar reasons. I'm not going to lie, I don't have very many ties to the Old Republic. What I can say is that the Empire has proven to be a radically unjust system. And my family and I have experienced some things you should know. Obviously, we don't have extensive tech crews out here. Getting anybody to volunteer and put their life on the line for the Alliance is hard enough. So that means we do a lot of our own maintenance and repairs. So how familiar are you with a hydro spanner? Oh, that's good. I think you're going to find that your level of involvement in your own maintenance is going to be much higher than with Karrde's gang, but organization, excuse me. Okay, well, if it's not a problem, that's great. Yeah, it took me a while to get used to. I'm not really much of a grease monkey, but what I can say is that I learned my way around an X-Wing engine. Yeah. Okay, good to know. Well, if you have any issues, just raise a hand, holler over to me. So, I was thinking that maybe we should get together tomorrow morning and run a simulation together. Yeah. Well, again, you have that experience with the headhunter, but if we're going to be wingmates, we should probably get to know each other's tendencies, and it'd be good to know before one of our training exercises with a larger group. It'd be good to kind of integrate some of those flight patterns and maneuvers together, so we're not kind of learning on the fly in front of the group. I'm not saying it's not a friendly group, it is, but it's very, very competitive, and let's just say I've been on the wrong side of the evaluation post-training mission, and that's not where we want to be. First impressions wise, we want to blow them out of the water, and I think if we do this, you stand a good chance of doing that. I would expect anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks of training together before we get on an actual mission, but once we do, the way things work here is we tend not to know where we're going until after we get there. Yeah. Our squadron leader will plug in the coordinates, and we will just sort of accept on good faith that he's not leading us into a trap. Yeah, it is nerve-wracking, but remember, this squadron is put together by Luke Skywalker and Wedge Antilles. It is the elite in the Rebel Alliance, and Wedge has access to intelligence that he just can't share with us. So if we're going to be successful as a team, we have to trust each other, and that sort of has to start from day one. I hear you. It is nerve-wracking. Took me a little while to get used to too, but you will. All right, well, why don't you head back to your quarters, get settled in. Still some other people we want to meet. We'll go down to the mess hall. We'll consume that slop that some people call food, and then we'll take things from there. So happy you're here. Welcome to Rogue Squadron.